I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. So initially, right, I sat down. I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go for like swimwear. And for some reason, it happened again, like it happened a couple of chapters ago, where it automatically brought the page up. And so right before I pressed the red button, I saw the cover. I'm looking at the cover and the title of the chapter, and I don't know what to make of any of this. Like I've got to, I don't know what I don't know, man. I don't know. So first and foremost, before we get to the title, y'all know how we do. You feel me? Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. We started off here with the cover. The cover of Michael Jeffrey Roger. Michael Jeffrey Roger. Son, every single chapter with any type of notice of a couple individuals. You know how we roll. Michael Jeffrey Roger, Blackbeard. And in the corner of this guy, he wasn't escaping me. You can't hide it from me. I see my boy with the straw hat right next to Captain Buggy. The SH in Santa hat stands for what? Shanks. And the title of this week's chapter of the best-selling manga in history. Y'all thought I was gonna forget. I don't forget. I can't read a chapter without delivering the intro to what is nearly the best-selling comic of all time. We are here today with Roger in the cover page. Roger! This is about to be a 40 out of 10 chapter. Chapter 1027. Of One Piece. And the title of this week's chapter, which is honestly even more crazy than the cover page, for different reasons, is An Unbelievable Disaster. An unbelievable disaster. I don't know what to say. I don't, bro. Like, what does that even mean? An unbelievable disaster. Sounds like my skills in Call of Duty are at the current point in time. An unbelievable disaster. I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. I don't know. Like, my brain was immediately turned to mush when I saw Roger. So when I saw the title, it just threw it all over the place. I don't know, man. It's Roger, Shanks, and Buggy on the cover page. I can't think. I can't think, man. So cover request by Tomokia. Roger flees after doodling on a lion's face. Hey, but at least he put his foot down like, yo, I'm the king of the jungle. You know what I'm saying? I'm the king of the jungle. I'm drawing a lion's face and I'm out of here. It's such a Roger thing to do, man. Yo, hold on, man. Based on the title of this week's chapter, let me get some water right quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, dude, I forgot what I was going to say. I had a couple things that I wanted to announce at the beginning of this. I don't even remember. I'm being 100% weird with you. I do not remember what I was going to say, man. I was going to say, I honestly don't, who cares at this point? Chapter 1027, An Unbelievable Disaster. Let's just get into the chapter. An unbelievable disaster. Neko. Master Nekomamushi. And here you see it's Wanda and Carrot. The moon gleams over Onigashima. Careful, Carrot, the sky suddenly got clear. It wasn't no suddenly. You know who did it. You know who split the skies. What am I trying to tell y'all? When two emperors clash, when the future king of the pirates clashes with the world's strongest creature, the individuals on the moon, they wanna see this. They want a front row seat. You know, they want to see it in screw 4K. They want to see it in 8K. They're trying to watch what is going to go down as a bout of legend. You know, there's been some amazing bouts in the history of our world where people just want to observe. They want to be a part of that experience, man. And one of those, at the very top, on the roof of WrestleMania, is the GOAT with the coat and Yakuju no Kaido. I mean, who doesn't want to watch that? Who doesn't want to? And the person who was broadcasting in 4K got sent to the Flagnards. The Flagnards? The Flagnards. So the individuals on the moon were like, y'all ain't cutting off my streaming service. I paid too much money for this junk, man. Y'all ain't cutting this off. We're splitting the sky. Split the skies. Sky split. And the moon people are like, yeah, we're about to watch some greatness. We've got the front row seat. I'm ready to go up and like swim. They're like, NL, pass the popcorn. My boy NL's popping it. He's over here with the other Sky Pirates. You know, they've got their helmets. They've got their Coke right here. So they're drinking out. I mean, they're ready. They were ready from the moment that we saw that cover spread with the straw hat, man. I mean, the hieroglyphics they foretold of the events to come. They were like, yo, on this day, on said roof piece, legendary chapters will take place back to back, and y'all have to be there to experience it. Be here and then, and that's it. Pay your tickets. Pay your tickets, man. And so I don't know how much the price of admission was, but I wish I was up there with my boy NL, watching this all go down, man. You don't want to accidentally turn Sulong. I wonder what happened. And so here we see, I believe that's Shishilian here on the left. So Perospital's obviously knocked out. And here we see Nekomamushi rubbing his head right in front of the Onigashima gate with Wanda and Carrot here. And there we see Onigashima flying still with the skies having split. This is just like what happened in the journal. Yo, Yamato's like, the journal. The legends were true. My boy Odin, he was spitting facts. When Roger and Whitebeard clashed, the world wanted to split. It's like on some Sephiroth stuff. You got all the stars and the thing they found it moving. It's like whenever you summon Neo Bahamut, man, and it's just I mean, come on, man. Look at it. The clashes between Whitebeard and Roger. And here you have the children of the next generation in Yamato and Momonosuke. You see Luffy's fist. You see Kaido's mace. I can't do this, man. And you have the electricity clashing in between. They would also split the heavens. And there they are looking at each other. They go with the coat and Kaido, bro. Roof beats, baby. Whoa, what was that tremor? You already know what it was. It was my coat. What was that tremor? You're looking at him. Look at it. Look at me. That's what the boy was doing, bro. Listen, man, you saw the cover page? Roger! You know who's taking over for Roger? You know who's taking over? The GOAT with the coat, ladies and gentlemen. And he and Kaido in hybrid form. Luffy's in base form. Base form with his attributes up like 9-fold because of his GOAT. Man, dude, that is so awesome. I really like this line of dialogue. This is just like what happened in the journal, the clash between Whitebeard and Roger. And the thing is that because Yamato wasn't there to experience it, she could only have envisioned such a thing, right? Like in your imagination, like whenever you're reading a novel and you're putting all these pieces together based on the words that have been written. And so in order to create some sort of image in your head. And so in Yamato's head, whatever Whitebeard and Roger clashing was, regardless of whether, you know, it was legit like I was talking about on some FF7 stuff, or it was actually in her head like, man, legendary Roger, you know, shining Roger and a shining Whitebeard, and they go in and they destroy the planet. Who knows? Who knows what's going on in Yamato's head? But to actually be able to see it taking place must be huge for Yamato, because it's like, yo, the legends were true. This is what Odin spoke of. When legendary individuals clash, they split the heavens so the moon people can watch. You know what I mean? So the moon people can watch. They want a front row seat. They want a front row seat, man. What was that tremor? Oh, what in the Flagnards is going on up there? And here we see some of the, you see the Mr. Oh man, here we go again. I keep, what was his name? Jeffrey? For some reason, I always forget the Toys R Us giraffe's name when I'm doing these reactions. But whenever I'm just chilling, I remember his name was Jeffrey the giraffe. All right, so we have a surprise appearance once again for like the 10th time in the series from Jeff. I think his name was Jeff. Whatever his name is, the mascot of Toys R Us. Man, they don't even have those anymore where I live. Regardless, the mascot of Toys R Us. He's coming back. He's trying to make a comeback, man. You know, trying to get his business back. So, you know, Kaido could be like one of those individuals in real life, man, who, you know, they have this big business and they're trying to get all these other corporations under him, and he's putting them out of business and trying to, you know, work under me. You know what I'm saying? He puts them out of business and he tells them to work under him, man. Shout out to Vince. So, you know, he hired the Toys R Us guy. He was like, screw it. Come on, Jeffrey. Whatever his name was. And here you have the goat with the coat and Kaido, man, face to face. And you have the ba-bang. Roofies, baby. I was not expecting roofies this week. Oh, snap. Yamato's bleeding. His Thunder Bagua. I was naive to think I could guard myself. But of course, man, because it's a flippin' Yoko, dude. Yama, bro. Yamato looks up. Give that sniveling snake a hand. You still haven't gotten a grip, Momo. Who are you calling sniveling? This man called him a snake. Hold your insolent tongue. I know what I have to do, but it is not that simple to change oneself. This man real deal called him a snake. Don't worry, Momonosuke-kun. I've got your back. Sorry we got split up earlier. Yamato. Momonosuke. When Kaido says your name when he looks to the side, hey, you gotta, I mean, then again, you don't have to fear. The go with the code is here, you know what I'm saying? Where do you think you're going? And Kaido goes immediately for Momo and Yamato. Momo's mouth, I mean, jaw dropping. Lend me your strength, Kinemon, Kiku. Take Momonosuke-sama and run. Yamato looks back. Hurry, Momonosuke-kun! And Yamato clashes with Kaido as Momonosuke's trying to get the Black Nards up out of there. Here comes the go with the coat, and he's like, hold up, that's my future candidates right there. You know what I'm saying? Those are two of my future candidates. One of them is going to lead this country, and the other one's coming with me. So regardless of the way you feel about that, come back. You ain't touching either of them. Let's go. Sets up for a Hurricane Rana. Hold it. Yama, bro. I know. You want them all to yourself, right? 1v1s. And Luffy smiles like, you already know. This man said nobody could beat him. 1v1 Lancier Air. I got you. Let's go, man. So yeah, any chapter with Luffy and Yamato interactions automatically goated, but this one was special because you know the what Yamato stated whenever the battle with Kaido started, right? She was like, I know I can't beat you, but I know somebody who can. I know somebody who's currently resting, gonna come back into the fourth quarter, is gonna start putting in work. And that's the king, man. That's the go with the coach. So we already knew that she felt this way, but to see her say it to the man's face, Ruffy's all about it. He's all about it. Ruffy, Momonosuke-kun. Oh, this is the end. Try and grab onto the sky. Grab? Dragons don't actually fly. What? They conjure clouds to use it as footholds. Dragons dash through the sky. I'm flying. They're called flame clouds. And now Momonosuke is utilizing this very same thing that we've seen not only used by Doflamingo, where he was able to use the strings, right, in order to float from cloud to cloud, but now also the same thing that Kaido uses. But dragons dash through the sky, and you see Yamato holding on to Momonosuke. This is super dope. Huh? Get away from the island. And she's just whacking all the debris that could possibly be coming from the, coming off of Onigashima. What? It's starting to crumble. Don't tell me that when Luffy and Kaido clashed and it split the sky. What did I tell y'all last week? That is something that an island cannot handle. We saw what happened with Whitebeard and Roger. where it legit almost grabbed and took the trees right out of the roots. Like, clashes between legends, man, they destroy islands. And I was like, yo, I'm kind of scared for Onigashima, because Onigashima could legit be shattered. It could start breaking apart by the sheer impact of these two individuals meeting. And lo and behold, that's what's happening here. It's starting to crumble. And you get to see how long Momonosuke is in terms of his dragon form. And right next to the Onigashima right here. Does this mean, and Yamato looks up, Kaido's powers are weakening? I mean, when you're facing off against the GOAT. Because the thing is that when you are facing off against someone that you realize is your equal, and this is the dangerous situation here, is that because Kaido had not had to utilize the other portion of his strength, he hadn't had to use the fullest extent of his powers yet. And so he always could reserve that one portion to keeping Onigashima flying and lifted up in the air. And so now that he's facing off against Luffy, an individual that obviously took him to forced him to throw him off the island, even though he didn't want to, but that's just how excited he got and how hard he was going in back in chapter 10-13, and in the original in the second rematch, or in the first rematch. So obviously now Luffy coming up here has more of a grasp on Conqueror's Code, and they just split the skies. Now he's going to have to utilize more of that energy. And so even if Onigashima is not crumbling, or it is crumbling, and then at the same time having to hold it up, it takes up, I'm going to assume, a significant amount of your energy. And so Kaido has to use that energy now to fight the GOAT with the GOAT. So it's like, man, yo, see, when I see stuff like that, it really puts into perspective just how much of a threat this man Kaido is, where he was fighting all these individuals in a boss battle and was holding up this island while doing so. Like, he's just that dude. He's just that dude. His flame clouds are unstable. They can't support the bedrock anymore. This is bad. We can't allow it to reach the flower capital like this. I got big so I could stop it. It's no use, Momonosuke-kun. What? But I have to try. We're running out of time. And Momonosuke and Yamato are looking down at the place that both of them want to protect. I love this. I love this so much because both of them have that same drive to not only open the borders of Wano, but to ensure that the future of Wano is in good hands. Look, you can already see the capital. It'll be over their heads in under 5 minutes. Then you have to use your flame clouds. You're a giant dragon too. That's how Kaido's moving the island in the first place. We can hold it back if yours are stronger. Are you mad? I just figured out how to fly and I'm barely managing that. And there is no telling if my powers are exactly like Kaido's. You're able to summon flame clouds. That means you've got a shot. This is an unbelievable disaster. So that's where the title of the chapter comes in. This is an unbelievable disaster. If we do nothing, it'll land like Kaido intended, crushing everyone in the capital. So it looks like it really is that device in the plot where it's the race against time. You know, like how we had the bomb in Alabasta, the Buster Call in his lobby, the birdcage in Dressrosa, and in Whole Cake, of course, you know, to get out of there before Big Mom and that cake, you know what I'm saying? So in every single arc, you know, you always have to have, in every single major arc at least, you have to have that race against the clock, you know, saving Ace and everything. So but here in particular, with the entire island about to fall onto the flower capital, like that's some dangerous stuff. So I'm hoping that what we get here is that the theory that we've been discussing ever since this was a possibility about Momonosuke actually, you know, holding up the island. Hopefully that comes to be true. It'd be even worse if he were to run out of steam early. His clouds would disappear and Onigashima would be sent hurtling towards the surface. Onigashima is stocked with more weapons and gunpowder than you can imagine. The whole island is basically a giant bomb, and that's factual. That's just factual. Onigashima has so much stuff within it. Like Momonosuke said, all of those weapons, all that gunpowder, alcohol, like a whole bunch of things that are just flammable. So if it crashes down, it is a massive explosion. It could wipe both islands and everyone there completely off the map. Even at this distance, there wouldn't be time to evacuate the capital. If it falls, the explosion would obliterate everyone, friends and foes alike. Then we need to stop Luffy. Don't be a moron. And Momonosuke comes down and not Momonosuke, Yamato goes like, yo, what's wrong with you? We gotta stop the GOAT. He has enough trouble on who he's fighting, and you think he can hold back? That man's got to use everything he could possibly do. He left this up to us. Like, we have to go out and do this, man. Don't put even more burden on this man's shoulders. Yo, look at this panel, bro, with the Conqueror's coating on one side, Kaido power charging it up with the other. He willingly put everything on his shoulders, exactly. Even though he can barely stand, how can we stop him after that? You feel me? Like, yo, that's facts. That's facts. And they're both charging up their Conqueror's coating. Luffy's the only one that can defeat Kaido. The only one. Telling him about this dilemma would only add to his burden. We'll have to figure it out on our own. And here we see everyone celebrating, not knowing of the incoming danger, man. Live floor Skull Dome. Get down, King Sama's gone wild. King Sama? And he's just slashing everything in sight. Oh, man, he's firing Getsuga Tenchos. And you see Zoro. That's Zoro, that's Bandana. You see Zoro, you see King. And look at him. Is he in hybrid form? He has to be. He has the Pteranodon wings. See, Frankie looks back. Zoro gets sent flying. Frankie catches Zoro. He's pretty strong. But that's hardly a surprise. Having trouble on life floor? Need a hand? Nah, I'm good. Nah, bro, my boy Zoro's good. He good. Hey, King, you bastard. Knock it off with those aimless attacks. You almost hit my backside. A pity I didn't slit your throat. And King's like, yo, pity you didn't die, though. Like, who's scared? What'd you say? A pirate hunter, Zoro. He just cracked King Sun's mask. He cracked his mask? He cracked King's mask? Is that why he's so mad? Nah, no wonder he's furious. No one's ever seen his real face. What is it? I can't see it. I can't see it. Oh, maybe it's not meant to be seen here. I was tripping. I was like, yo, am I meant to see it right now? No one's ever seen his real face. And he's walking towards him. And this man looks menacing, bro. Menacing. But you see that one side has been cut. So I'm going to assume that's where Zoro cut. And that's the exposed part of his face here. Sorry, Frank. I need you to step back. Got it. Hang in there. Excuse me. Tankyo-dan? Tankyo-dan. And he starts soaring towards Zoro. 3-sword style. Ultra. Divine red blow. Tiger hunt. And they both clash. Divine red bow. That sounds filthy. Divine red bow. And tiger hunt, which is the same technique that he utilized when he was facing Fujitora and Stampede. So he goes in, and here we get to see, does he hit him again up here? So King sends him flying once more, I think, is what I'm led to believe here. Or maybe both of them get sent flying. Yeah, I think it's both of them get sent flying. So King gets sent flying and Zoro gets sent flying. Yeah, yo, Zoro's flying with the debris and all, man. Flagnards, but he ain't done. He ain't done. And he... Oh my god. Bro, this man impaled him so hard, he sent him right out of Onigashima. Yo, that's an edge spear. No, that's a rhino gore. That's a... Gore. He gored him. He gored this man, Zoro. Sent him flying off of Onigashima. I'm gonna fall. 2-sword style. Clear lance. And he cuts the air? And they land outside. Somehow, some way, they both land outside. Kanji means Sky Tanuki. Tanuki for his son? For Chopper? Pant, that was close. You should at least use a blade when you go for the kill. What you just pulled is unforgivable. What you just pulled is unforgivable. Ho, ho, ho. Yo, Zoro's about to... You should at least use a blade when you go for the kill. Yeah, exactly, because he's like, yo, if you're going to have a blade and you're not going to go at it towards me, that's disrespectful to me. Spin's out here utilizing his body for a full-blown gore. So Zoro manages to get back. So we see Zoro right here. He's flying, and he clearly uses the clear lance in order to catch himself so he can fall, and both of them fall here on top. Juice pull is unforgivable. There's the part of his mask. The same goes for you. What's beneath the mask? And here we get to see some, like, what is it, some white hair? Some blonde hair? Yo, dude, this flipping chapter. So hold on. They would also split the heavens, and you see this incredible. I'm looking at the colors so I can get a better grasp on King. Here, so King, clear lens. So King looks like he has the same type of, based on the colors, it looks like he has that same type of thing that Jack has going on, right, with his hair. But at the same time, I'm not sure. I am honestly not sure, man. I'm not sure. So a piece of King's mask has been cracked. So obviously that's going to be a major part of this battle here. King is going to be taking this extremely seriously. They're fighting outside, and because Zoro and King are fighting outside, now they're given the free reign to use any type of technique and any type of force possible. You know, King doesn't care. But in Zoro's case, you know, looking out for the other individuals, now he doesn't have to look out for them anymore. And what also makes this very interesting now is that with any type of slash, Zoro cuts this man King with Enma, and he could potentially lose his foothold. So it's like, it's going to add a completely different layer to this upcoming battle. So now, is it not only the thing with Zoro's lineage, and finding out more about Zoro's potential lineage, you know, with Ushimaru and the awesome battle sequences there that could come out of that. But now also another piece of this battle is going to be with King, his Lunarian blood, which we knew was coming, but now also how much he protects his mask. So obviously, he is somebody who was wearing this mask for a reason. He got really mad when they started cutting away at his mask, so he didn't want his face to be exposed. And so that is very, very interesting. So when Zoro cut his mask, that's when he really started going all out here with this. Very, very interesting, man. So this has to be King's hybrid form then, right? Where King has like the Pteranodon wings, and he has the shoulder blades. You know, he looks like regular King, so he's obviously not in Pteranodon state, so he's in hybrid form. Now he is officially in hybrid form state. And he looks nasty, bro. He legit looks filthy. But he charges at Zoro, sends him flying off, Tiger Hunt, which manages to somehow, you know, stop that. Then he goes in, continues the attack, sends him flying off Onigashima. I mean, King is just, man. So Zoro catches himself, another two of them are outside. So this chapter, at its very, very simplest, so Luffy and Kaido, obviously, they're continuing their bout. We got to see a little bit more of it, but that for now is going to be saved for after all these battles start taking place. And so Momonosuke and Yamato, I really love this particular section of the chapter, considering these two are the future of Wano. Like I said, regardless of who ends up staying, who ends up going, whatever ends up happening in the future, these are two individuals, one of them under Kaido, one of them under Oden. Obviously, their futures and their destinies, their stories intertwined with Wano so heavily, and both of them with their, you know, convictions on opening the borders of Wano, the future of Wano, and the people of Wano, and their best interests, and not only in their best interests, that's what's in their heart, is to protect those individuals. And I love this scene to where Momonosuke is still, I mean, he still hasn't gotten over his fears, but also, you know, clapping back at Luffy and whatnot, Yamato leaving it up to Luffy, and Yamato understanding, like, yo, this is what you're here for. I got you. I believe in you. I believe it's so good. Like, Kaido rushes towards him. Luffy's like, yo, where you going? Not only that, Yamato gets a clash off, and Luffy's like, yo, come back. And then we have these moments with Yamato and Momonosuke. Momonosuke actually managing to fly in the flame clouds, thanks to Yamato's guidance here. And that was really great stuff. Of course, not being able to this panel right here of Dragon Form Momonosuke with the floating Onigashima looks really, really cool. The rocks crumbling and coming down. It just looks really nice. But man, dude. So this is nuts. Like, now Momonosuke, so now we're setting up the storylines for this final part of the arc here. Of course, the rest of the Straws trying to get together. Zoro versus King, Sanji versus Queen, Big Mom versus Law and Kid. We still have the Killer and Hawkins battle taking place as well, which obviously is heavily intertwined with the Law and Kid, or the Law Killer and the Law Kid and Big Mom fight. Those two are heavily intertwined. But the thing is with that fight, the reason why I always excluded is those two is because those could have heavy implications to what could take place after Wano. They don't necessarily have to finish here unless Oda really wants to get rid of Big Mom and Kaido here. So then it would have to finish. But in Kaido and Luffy's case, that's obviously going to be safe for last. But now alongside that being of course, the big battle that's going to take place, we now have this storyline set up, which was what I was hoping we were going to get. What I'm going to assume a lot of us were hoping we were going to get, based on the comments, based on the theories, based on the discussions, that we all want Momonosuke to have that moment where he can also raise and hold up Onigashima, and showcasing, this is what I am willing to do. This is my potential being fulfilled and utilized to its fullest extent, to where not only can I fly in the same way that Kaido is, but because Yamato's believing me, because Luffy's believing me, because if I don't do this, the people in the Flower Capital are going to die. I need to hold this up. I need to hold this island up the same way that Kaido did until Luffy finishes off Kaido. And it's going to be excellent. It's an additional emotional layer on top of what's already a crazy race against the clock for Luffy to defeat Kaido. I mean, Luffy defeating Kaido is already insane in and of itself. But now you put a clock on top of that to where Luffy needs to defeat him in a certain amount of time. And now Momonosuke is going to have to, because you already know he's not going to defeat him in 5 minutes, so Momonosuke is going to have to hold up the island with Yamato there with them, the two of them ensuring that nothing touches upon Wano. And I love it. I love it from most importantly when it comes to their characters, but it's going to deliver on some really emotional moments. I can just see it. So I'm super, super excited for it, man. I cannot wait for that. But yo, Zoro heavily struggling here against King. King is that dude, bro. I mean, you just see it here. King is that dude. And he has no remorse for anyone. I mean, he was slicing and dicing his own dudes. He is mad. This man, Zoro, cut off his mask. Oh, he's mad. And so now what I'm wondering is with King and Zoro here finishing off the chapter, I do wonder if next chapter we see King versus Zoro and Sanji versus Queen, how we intertwine between the two, or do we stick here with King and Zoro? Because normally it would be Sanji versus Queen first and then King versus Zoro. So what I'm going to assume is that because Oda already gave us bits and pieces of Sanji versus Queen before, he's like, all right, let me give a little bit for Zoro and King, have that momentum moving. When we cut back, we're probably going to go back to Sanji versus Queen, finish that up, we'll go back to Zoro versus King, and all the other things. But this battle now as an extra element of interest to it, man, because now, of course, all of us want to see what's under King's mask and why it is that he is hiding himself in this way. And with the way that Wano has been with the lore, when it comes to, the recent explanation and the revelation of the Lunarians and all that stuff. So I'm very interested on why it is that King has a mask on, why he doesn't want anybody else to see his face. And when we do see his face, are we going to see either a resemblance to somebody who we know, or when we see his face, are we going to see a resemblance to somebody that we're going to figure out later on down the line? I'm very curious on that end, because we know that Wano is not only culminating a whole bunch of stuff taking place up until this point, but it's also setting up the final stretch of the series. So super excited to see what happens there with King and Zoro, man. This is exciting. Just based on what we got here, this is right hand versus right hand. Both of them are nasty. Both of them willing to do absolutely anything. We love to see it. I cannot wait to see where this battle goes. So we're setting up some awesome sauce, man. We're really setting up some greatness here for the final stretch of Onigashima. But yo, good chapter this week. Really enjoyed it. My major highlight, I mean, honestly, the whole chapter, right? Luffy and Kaido continuing their thing. Yamato Momonosuke, definitely from a character standpoint, just love that for both characters. I was really hoping for something like that, and Oda delivered on that for sure. Just really well done, and I can't wait to see where that plot thread leads to when it comes to payoff for both character arcs for Yamato and Momonosuke. Like, I'm super, super excited to see where it takes those two. And their interactions, of course, always good. And with King and Zoro, this fight is going to be awesome sauce when we get down to it, man. When it gets down to the nitty-gritty and both of them are throwing down, it's going to be nasty. But yo, what a chapter. So You know, so we start off with the title drop and Roger on the cover, and then we get this, man. Awesome transition chapter. Really looking forward to seeing the incoming chapters, considering that it says no break, so it looks like there's no break, right? So next week we'll be back. And like I said, I'm really anticipating Sanji versus Queen, maybe / Zoro versus King next week. Both battles will be happening simultaneously. But exciting stuff, man. Cannot wait for it. Y'all have an awesome day. Who knows? Maybe Queen himself will be the one to reveal to Sanji / the viewer why it is that King's so protective. Or maybe Oda will just save that for whenever Zoro ends up cutting off his mask and whatnot, right? But I wonder what that payoff is going to be for, right? Like, I wonder, is the payoff going to be that whenever King's mask comes off, that we see that individual and we have some sort of idea as to who this is and who their relation is, and maybe somebody from the past, or it's going to be somebody from the future? That, like, we see the face, we're like, then what's this supposed to mean? And then down the line, we're going to be like, oh, that's what we're showing that. Or, you know, I wonder what the payoff is to this mask plotline now. But regardless, I'm excited. Stuff is going down. Final stretch of Onigashima. Y'all have an awesome day, man. Let's go. One Piece greatness. Let me know what y'all thought about this week's chapter in the comment section down below. Tomorrow, I am going to be uploading a video continuing the countdown to 1,000 on my favorite arc endings. You know, because Wano's going so good. And I've been thinking a lot about how the arc is going to conclude. I went back and looked at my other favorite endings to arcs in the series. And I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow in like a Recon's piece style thing. So look forward to that. But until next time, I'll see y'all. Have an awesome day. One Piece greatness. Man, dude, this is what I'm talking about, dog. Let's go, man.